All right, boys, what the fuck is good? You clicked into this video because you knew exactly who we have on today. Trax NYC. All right, we're in the fucking Diamond District. It's gonna be a massive EP, you know?
This guy has been causing a scene in the Diamond District, and the boys just have to come check out what he's all about.
Yep.
And he's about what he says. I'll tell you that much. He's got a crazy operation here. He's been killing it in the industry. I mean,
Show me the chain.
he gifted the boys. This guy's a gem, bro. I love this guy, and I know you guys are gonna love him too.
And guys, don't forget, this episode is brought to you by the fucking family at Bodog. We love you. Let's get into this episode.
They know that I go flip mode when I bust the rhymes. Man's on a different thing, man, I told him 100 times. I did a bunch of crimes, and none of them were done for the vine. So you can take that bullshit and stick that where the sun don't shine. The summer's up, it's about to get real cold. Late nights in the studio with the bros.
Welcome back to the MBH podcast. Money buys happiness. Guys, before we get into it, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think of the pod.
Yo, let's get this to 5,000 likes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
go.
sir. Listen, no introduction needed, okay? You might see what's going on behind us.
Boys are in the Diamond District.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We with the boys from Trax NYC. What the fuck is up, boys? How you guys doing?
Not bad, man. I mean, it's another day in the dirty Diamond District with the dirty cutthroat slime balls and you know, the disgusting things that I have to go through for the past 17 years. A lot of people complain that, you know, they come up to me like, oh, listen, we're all in the Diamond District. Why are you talking shit about it? Because I've earned the right to talk shit about it. I've been here for 17 years. I know all the tricks. I know all the secrets. I battled everybody. I have one of the biggest businesses here. I'll tell you what the fuck is up. And on this particular day, I'm very fucking annoyed.
Oh, we could tell. I mean, we could tell. But it's good
energy.
energy now.
Thank
We're
you.
going to get it out for you.
Yeah, you're right.
We got your boy here, too, if you want to introduce yourself.
This is my friend Goop.
Goop, how you doing?
What's up, brother?
What's up?
How you doing, bro?
Man, just, you know,
So how do you guys know each other?
we just both live in the city. We met through like mutual hobbies and shit.
Okay, we were riding scooters or whatever, but he's been backing me up. You know, he's got a key to the place. He's been
Dope.
backing me up.
Put out fires from time to time.
Yeah, he's got a lot of wisdom. When I'm at war with different people in the Diamond District, he might give me some counsel or something like that, which definitely works out for me. So
I feel like loyalty's hard to find on this street. So having your boy is good.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, we don't have you know interests that cross over. It's really for, you know what I'm saying, like faith has to be tested.
Yeah.
For the love of money, you know what I'm saying. What at one point does somebody turn on another person, me on him on me, you on him, or whatever it is. You know, if you have the wisdom of what's in the mutual interest, common interest, parallel interests. And you know that's a wise game because it's not an open-ended whatever.
Yeah.
You know, if someone came in to say, "Listen, we'll give you $1 billion right now if you just elbow your friend."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a temptation. You know, I'm sure he'd forgive me.
That's a lot of money, bro.
It's crazy. You know what? We
If it's a
spoke
billion?
about this. Yeah, we spoke about this and like what's the price of someone's morals? What's the price
Right.
they put on it? What's the price that they're willing to, you know, give up all their morals for something, right?
Right.
It's interesting you guys say that, but definitely want to get into your past and how you
Right.
started, right?
Right.
Because it's my first time on in the Diamond District.
Right.
And I was like, wow, there's actually like hundreds of stores here, right?
It's
The competition must be crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I want to go way back. I know you moved here when you were a kid.
Right.
So maybe talk to us a little bit about that.
Sure. I mean, I moved when the Soviet Union collapsed, I guess in the late 80s. I mean, I was born in 86. I came here into the United States in 93 as a Jewish refugee, even though some people don't tell me that I'm not Jewish, but, you know, that's a different story.
They say you're not Jewish?
A lot of people do. You know, they tell me that I'm an Arab or whatever it is. My father's Muslim. I was
Okay.
born in a Muslim country, but I came here as a Jewish refugee because my mother's Jewish.
There you go.
And we were able to get Jewish refugee
So you're Jewish.
and come to the United States. Well, you know, Jewish is an identity. You know, you
Yeah.
can talk about, you know, the laws of Moses and what that means to be Jewish, or you could talk about a community, or you could talk about a heritage, you could talk about a religion. So
Yeah.
it's in a kind of ambiguous, you know, title to be Jewish, but not a lot of people don't understand that, and that's a whole different topic.
Of course.
But we came here as Jewish refugees into a Jewish American neighborhood with a lot of other people flooding in from the collapsing Soviet Union at that time. And, you know, the struggle began. Learn English, learn the culture, learn what the hell's going on TV. In the Soviet Union, our television didn't have even a remote control. The cameras that would take pictures that my parents' friends would have would be in black and white. It was like growing up in the 50s.
crazy.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask. Do you remember any of those times in the Soviet, like being there? Yeah.
Yeah, there was no hot water. You know what I'm saying? You're a kid. Parents are listening to the radio on the value of the dollars, selling all their goods, trying to convert it to dollars so they could come here. They came here with like $13,000.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that was what their life savings was in Baku, Azerbaijan, which, was a lot for over there. We had a really upper middle class life over there, a real nice setup.
Yeah.
Which was garbage compared to what the hell is over here. No hot water, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was absolute chaos over there. So
what were your parents doing over there?
my father was a homicide detective. My mother was a journalist.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah. So, they were good professional people, really good people, honest people, always hardworking, good families. And that was really the blessing. But, that was once you come to the United States, it becomes a whole different story, man.
So you guys got here, and what was the plan? What did your parents go into? Obviously, homicide detective, journalist, but then
my pops had a hard time. Being a homicide detective over there is not like being a homicide detective. There's still a lot of politics, corruption, all sorts of shit. So he was exhausted by the time he came here. He just wanted a regular job. He became a bookkeeper for the sanitation department, and my mom became an earner here. And she was an occupational therapist and really, made as much money as she could for me and my sister to, buy me a computer or what have you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How were you in school? So obviously you make the change. You come here. Now you're in this school system, obviously, which is way different from where you're
there's
from.
a grave I got to spit on. It's Miss Roosevelt's.
You heard it, Miss Roosevelt.
She's dead. Don't worry.
All right, R.I.P.
The thing is, I came in. You know what I'm saying? I came in my first day of school because you know what I'm saying. In the Soviet Union, you start school when you're 7. Here, you start when you're 6.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I came here when I was 7, so I never went to school. So I had to go straight to the 2nd grade. Never went to 1st grade. Didn't know anything about school. Didn't even know if it was the first day of school or whatever. I was an immigrant.
Yeah.
And the teacher looks at me. And, I remember the look in her eyes, and then later on I realized what that look was. She was like, oh, here's another fucking immigrant from, this other country that I have to now deal with that doesn't speak English. Yeah. And she treated me like shit. Yeah. And, you know,
you were a
that
burden.
Yeah, and that started off my, you know what I'm saying, my career in school. Came completely on the wrong footing. She didn't give a fuck about me. She didn't care, you know what I'm saying? There was other kids that spoke English and Russian. She didn't give a shit. She was near retiring. She remembers when that area was, a Jewish American community and how it changed with all sorts of Jewish immigrants from the Soviet Union. She resented that. She hated it. And she treated me like shit, and then school was shit ever since.
So how long was it of, let's say, people rejecting you or not giving you the chance because you were, let's say, an immigrant or you didn't know the language? Like, how long was that phase for you?
I mean, like that lasted, learning English and getting accustomed to the culture up to like 7th grade was when I really felt like a little bit more enough Americanized.
Okay.
Where you're really learning the I learned the language pretty quick, but you're learning the routine or whatever it is. But every year there's progress. Like now I feel way more American than I ever did.
Yeah.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
So
because you kind of made it, but speaking of that, like, how long did you graduate all the way through high school?
Yeah, I made it through high school just barely because I didn't want. I wish I dropped out, to be honest.
That's what we say.
Everyone
too.
says
Everyone
that,
says that after.
Yeah.
Any
just
like
for
entrepreneur.
just for the fucking the gall to say I dropped out of that shitty institution.
And I'm successful now. Yeah.
I mean, like in today's modern technology society, if you really have the willpower and you're a young guy, I'm not telling you to drop out of high school, but if you're really going to sit there and go to YouTube and study the courses, you could go to Yale courses, you could do whatever it is, you could learn science, you could take tests online. If you really get the pattern of self-education, you'd be ahead of the game by the time high school was over. You know what I'm saying?
We talk about education all the time and how it's kind of outdated. I think it only kind of feeds into a few careers that you really want to go. Like, if you really want to be a lawyer, okay, you got to go to school.
Shit, bro, I got a law degree. I never used it.
There you go. You have a law degree and you never
I
used
coach
it.
bodybuilders
And how many people
online,
do we know they get a degree in something and they're doing a complete 180 from that?
Yeah.
Right?
More aren't using it than are, man.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of, I guess modern day education and what that's doing to, let's say, future entrepreneurs?
Well, listen, if you're going to be a lawyer or a doctor, you know what I'm saying, you're going to need to sit here and go through the whole process and the courses or whatever it is. It could probably be made more efficient. If you're going to be an engineer, then there's no way around that institution and so on and so forth. But if you're looking to find your place in the world, then that's a tricky thing because, as a young kid, I started in this jewelry shit, and then 20 years later, I'm still here.
Yeah.
So, you know, I could have went into real estate. I could have went into some other profession. And I would have, you know, been in a completely different place at my time instead of dealing with these fucking savages like I'm dealing with today.
Did you try anything different before you got into jewelry? Did you try any different jobs?
I was originally, you know, doing, I used to just sit on the computer and make, you know, back then it was Adobe Flash or whatever. It was some other company was making Flash. And I used to make cartoons and post them up online. And I loved computers, but then I wanted to be able to make a profit. And I was looking for a product to sell, to bring to the marketplace. And that's how, you know, I went down to Canal Street. And, you know, through this person, when I was installing Counter-Strike on someone's computer, their cousin saw me. And they saw me they saw that I was a smart kid, gave me $20 to hang out with them, take pictures. And then they eventually led me to this vendor that was... You know, I'm a jewelry, had jewelry for years, and I photographed jewelry, put it up on eBay. Once the pictures of the jewelry sold, I would pick it up, sell it, ship it, and keep the difference if there was any, and learn the jewelry business little by little, and then eke my way into this fucking shithole here.
So just middleman it at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's you got to figure out how to pay your dues, or, you know, I wasn't looking for a big profit, but I was smart, you know what I'm saying? The young kids, like, their attitude, they think they're the shit. It's going to be handed to them. They're going to be this. They're going to be that. I had humility. You know what I'm saying? I had too much humility. I should have been more, you know, aggressive even back then, because then I would have accomplished way more. I had more going on. But I was, like, looking around. I'm like, you know, I had the humility to be humble and not be arrogant. And gradually build my business. You know?
So at what point do you say, okay, like you test it out, you're putting some shit on eBay, you're like, oh fuck, okay, there's something here, like I have something. At what point do you say, like, all right, I'm going to take this, like, this is what I'm going to run with. Like,
it's one thing that leads to another. You know what I'm saying? It's too late to turn back. Okay, you know, you put one item. I put up the first ring. I think I called it the Phantom ring or something like that. $750 was the cost, and I sold it for $750. I lost money. You know, because I had to pay the eBay fees and everything like that. And, you know, I didn't know anything. I could have sold it for $850 and broke even, but I was too stupid. I just wanted to see if I could sell anything. So I sold that. I'm like, oh, I could sell it. So now I'm putting it up $100, $200 profit, because back then, $750 or $1,000 was a lot of money. So that was a serious thing.
So even going back a little bit to that mindset where you said, you know what, I needed to have more profit. I wanted to make a product. What made you realize that? Was there something in your environment or people in your environment that made you realize you wanted to grind, you were hungry for the money?
To get into commerce. I mean, listen, my uncle, you know, in the Soviet Union, while the Soviet Union was collapsing, made a lot of money. I don't know doing what, but he was importing, exporting, whatever, God knows what. You know what I'm saying? So that worked out really, really good, and I saw that, and that was inspiration. I said, you know what, you could get rich. You could make money.
Yeah.
You know?
So you just wanted to do it.
So I saw that, and it was inspiration that commerce is possible, and that's it.
And even before that, I listened to one of your podcasts, and you said that you were working for free for a while.
Yeah, I was an intern for this guy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy that, you know, it was the summer after I graduated high school, and I was rolling around. He had spinning rims on his truck, and he was also doing all sorts of shit, getting clothing and stuff from Canal Street and putting it up all over the place. And he had me put up this Evisu shirt, which was fake from Canal. I sold it for $120. The person returned it, said, you know, you sold me a fake shirt. I'm like, all right, I give you a full refund. I give the full refund, but I'm not getting the money back from the guy that I was working on. I'm like, listen, you're going to make me take a loss. I'm sitting here doing this for free, working for free, giving me enough money to buy ice cream. And now at the same time, I'm going to take a loss. I'm like, all right, fuck me over. And then I started, and I just used the connect that I found and kept it rolling.
How old are you at this point?
18.
18.
Do you think working for free at that time was important for you to do, though?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I want to talk about, because we mention this a lot with young teens and people that want to get into an industry. I think nowadays, our generation now that's in their 20s or late teens, they don't want to work for free. They think they need to have it given to them right off the bat.
They do. I mean, there's a young guy.
That's something that I realized,
over
right?
Here, you know, the smart people, they get in, they want to get their foot through the door, they'll do it. They're where they want to be at, they'll put their work in. It's these fucking idiots that are don't want to do this and think they're that and deserve this and they want to start that. They're going to have that life. It was like, I had a math teacher back in high school, and he used to junior high school, and he used to say this in a very good phrase. You know, someone's got to deliver my Sunday paper. He used to say. Someone's got to sit here and do all that shit. It's the guys that don't want to do the work for free, that don't want to put the investment in. You know what I'm saying? Right? You have two fucking different types of creatures. The one that has a corn on a cob and grizzles the whole fucking thing and swallows it and sits there, and the one that takes a couple of kernels and puts them in the ground for the next season. And those are two branching fucking types of fucking human beings. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out which one you are. Someone's got to sit here and be the Lord. Someone's got to be the peasant. And it's sad that that's the way it is, but people put their work in. You don't have the mentality, put the work in. You could be the first in your generation to do that, or you could be the one that does it right before the next generation, or you could not do it at all, and maybe it'll happen in 500 years. That's on you. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of the problem with the generation today, I feel like, is that it's like we're looking for instant gratification rather than planting those seeds, right? Saying, fuck, I don't need to make 100K this year. Maybe I make 30 and the other 70 is invested into me on next year and the year after and the year after, right? So,
and even just the way the online world is, I mean, people are looking around, they're like, oh, it must be easy. Like, they look at your videos, oh, it must be easy. I can do what he does. Yeah. Let me go talk to him for a couple of weeks, and I'm going to start selling jewelry.
Sure. I mean, some of them think like that. Some of them completely have their heads up their ass. You know, some guy was over here trying to do this. Some young punk fucks, trying to cut throat or whatever the fuck, trying to get in, and, they hide like snakes in the grass. You know what I'm saying? They nod, yeah. Their word means nothing. They say one thing, do another, and then you got to sit here. They put you in a difficult situation. That's it.
Did you? Okay, sorry.
Go.
Did you ever have? I mean, you probably did. What was your big break with the jewelry? Was there one piece that you sold that really took off for you, or that you knew, like, okay, I'm all in now?
Yeah. I mean, at some point, I was starting to make good money.
Okay.
Like, I fucked my life up. I should have been way more ahead than I am now. When I was 21 years old, 22 years old, I was in the position to make like 20 grand a week.
Wow.
Back in,
holy shit,
2000 and whatever the fuck, 7 or something like that, 7, 8. And the money started to come in, and I could have did a fantastic job. The clients started coming because eBay was like the Wild Wild West at that time. You could just, I was the only seller. I was the only one in hip-hop jewelry, and I had the whole marketplace to myself. But I didn't learn how to manufacture. I kept dealing with stupid problems. And then I indebted myself once the economy collapsed in 08 or whatever it was, in 09. So I ripped myself, and I could have been way more ahead. But at that time, I bought an Audi S5 and a V8 FSI.
You're having a good time, yeah.
Yeah, having a good time as a young kid. You know what I'm saying? Young punk.
Figure that shit out there, man.
Yeah, there was no guidance.
That's the time to make those mistakes. Yeah. When you're that age,
you're thinking like, oh, I'm not that far ahead as I could have been. But
you're so hungry to fucking finally get in that limelight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're like a fucking golden retriever that just saw a swimming pool and just wanted to jump in and just splash around or some shit.
You're like, bro, I can afford the car. I can afford this.
I can finally do. You want to show something when you've had nothing, when you've been in the back of the bus the whole fucking time, and now
and that was all doing the eBay stuff.
Yeah, that was the eBay, and then building the website at the same time. But if I really learned manufacturing and just invested my money instead of doing anything else, and be wise as I am now, I probably would have been 100 million strong right now.
But was there one specific sale, like a massive sale to maybe an artist?
Yeah, there was
like
some guy back in the day, 10 years ago, dropped like 120 grand in cash. When you're a young dude, and that's back then, and someone's dropping $120,000 in cash on the table, it's like, wow, I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? Before you were doing this, I remember we were counting the money. The money was all dirty money, bro. We were counting the money, and then I'm like, damn, that's a lot of money right here. And the money was so dirty. After counting 120, I got like 3 colds at the same time. I would have been dead
off the thing.
If I was a little bit older. Luckily, my immune system could handle it at the time.
How did you bounce back after that? Let's say downfall when the market crashed.
Yeah. Well, by learning business, learning the trials of life. And, I had to transition from eBay to the website, get the SEO up, start making custom jewelry, start manufacturing, learn how to manufacture things, all with my back against the wall, build salespeople, build people, and build these people up. Like right now, I got to deal with, you want to get some numbers on your podcast or get some buzz over here, Right now, I'm dealing with a situation. I had a friend by the name of Paul. Left my company, did some whatever. He invested a lot in my company. He put in 10 years in my company, so I let him rock and I let him live when he grew up. It went out. but they all trying to follow in the diamond district, to follow the path of Eliante. Because he was working at Aviani, and then he took the, the cream of the crop. Maybe they weren't paying him, or maybe they weren't this. I don't really know what it is. Took the cream of the crop of the clients and went and made himself a fantastic fucking life, and so on and so forth. And everybody's trying to copy that same game. And that's pissing me the fuck off because it's fucking up my business. And now I got to sit here and I got to do Eliante and I got to do Paul and I got to do these two little roaches, Noah and Georgie, and all these other motherfuckers, bro. It's sad that that's what it's going to have to come down to. But you're not going to take away my prize that I earned on myself. Which company that I work for in the Diamond District? Tell me. Which one?
That's actually the question I have
None,
for you.
motherfuckers.
That's actually what I wanted to know. Like, did you have any help coming up? Like, did you work with any other guys?
Spitting in my face, people. But that's the only help they fucking gave me. When I had to, when the place I had to be was 2 feet to the right, they told me to go 10 miles to the left. That's the fucking help they gave me.
Yeah, the guy taught you early though. He ripped you in that fake shirt.
Yeah. He ripped. That guy was nothing. You know what I'm saying? Then I was upstairs. You know what I'm saying, with a wholesaler that was just ripping into me. You don't understand what's going on this block. This is thousands of years old, okay? Let me just get into biblical times, okay?
Sure.
All right? So for all my Jewish friends that don't know their own history, right? All right? So that, God was angry with the Jewish people because they kept sinning and worshiping idols. So the temple was destroyed. And instead of relying on the word of God, they relied on, as it says, one of the prophets says, the bent reed or the weak reed of Egypt, right? So they made an alliance with Egypt, the kings of Judah or whatever, and long story short, they got destroyed and exiled to Babylon.
Yeah.
And Babylon was a dirty, grimy city, okay? And in Babylon, the way that city developed was based on tricking people, lying to them, all about money, all about greed, all about this, all about that. And the tricks of the commerce that the people learned over there, all the griminess that they're just on a level you guys don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like how deceitful they will be just to bring you down, just to suck all the blood out of you, like a predator-prey situation.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to go through. And I, was like a new kid in Babylon trying to understand thinking, from the prairie land or the farmland, thinking that if you're going to say you're going to be there tomorrow in the afternoon at 12 o'clock with a basket full of apples, you know what I'm saying? If I give you this silver coin, you'll actually be there.
Yeah.
I'll give you the silver coin, and then you disappear. Not only in Babylon or over here, not only they don't come back with a basket full of apples, they're eating the apples, and then they say, you never gave me. You owe me apples, they say. Backwards. The opposite of what the fuck it is. And it's dirty, 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 dirty games. But I'm sick and fucking tired of those games, bro. And I'm not playing around anymore. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we interrupt this podcast to bring you the most important message of your life in the Diamond District. All right, the boys are live on Twitch every single week. We're ripping blackjack on Bo Dom. Okay,
not only blackjack.
What else are we doing?
We got the sports picks. It's World Cup time.
Facts.
Yo, the boys have been firing, to be honest. But what do we get? What do we get?
We up. We up.
We get in the bag.
Yep.
All right, but how can they get the bag too? Is what I'm asking.
Oh, you want to know how they can get the bag?
Yes.
Oh, it's very simple. Sign up, get a $400 welcome bonus, 50 free spins on the casino.
But not only that, a huge reason I love Bodog, to be honest, is that they offer withdrawals and deposits through crypto. Man, it's so easy to take out money, put in money, and just fucking make money. You know what I mean?
Lightning fast. It is lightning fast. We deposit and withdraw with crypto in and out of the account, 2 seconds.
Bro,
Not like these other platforms.
5 business days.
Stop. We don't got time for that. All right. And with that being said, let's get back to this fucking EP. Is the diamond industry only that grimy here? Or would you say that's anywhere? Like if you go to LA or whatever? It's
a lot of industries are like that. Everyone's complaining about a lot of industries or so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is. But over here, I'm dealing with the shit that I'm dealing with, and it's annoying.
I think greed's
You know what I'm
universal.
I noticed.
But the tactics are way, way grimier. You know what I'm saying? But it's incomprehensible.
Give us an example, though, of a tactic.
Listen, the story is when I was a young kid, I was over there, and, it's just they keep moving the goalpost every fucking other time and say one thing or another. So, I sold a ring. And, the vendor says to me, that it's out of stock. So the ring, I sold it. I sold it for $2,500. It cost me $2,000. It's out of stock. He's like, I order it for you. 4 weeks, no problem. It'll be here. I'm like, okay. I tell the client, hey, would you like to wait for 4 weeks? Instead of $2,500, I'll give it to you for $2,300 for your wait. And that's it. And I'm sorry about, the inconvenience, because I'm a courteous person. So the 4 weeks pass. It's not here. He's like, I ordered it. Another fucking 2 weeks pass. It's coming next week. Another 2 weeks pass. It's still not here. Another 2 weeks pass, and now the customer's cursing me out. I'm like, man, you fucked me up. You told me 4 weeks, bro. 8 weeks, fucking 10 weeks pass, and it's still not here. It finally gets here. Guess what? It's $3,500 now, my cost. So now I'm losing fucking $1,200. Yeah. He's like, I ordered it for you. I ordered it. I did it. You motherfuckers, bro. He couldn't say, listen, it might come out a little bit more. Prices are flexible. I'll order it and it'll be here. You know, it could be 4 to 8 weeks. Tell your customer to be patient and we'll see what's up. Nah, that's too honest. Yeah. They just want to get you, bro.
At that time.
They want to get you right now. Yeah. They want to get you to wait. Whatever's in the interest for them. Doesn't matter if you're gonna light on fire head to toe, burning of doused in gasoline. Doesn't matter. As long as they get a little bit convenience for them, they'll do anything to you. Yeah. And that's one story. There's plenty others. They tell you this, they tell you that. They go this way, they go that way, bro.
So you're getting
sneaky games.
Yeah. So you're getting your feet wet in the industry, and I guess you're looking around and you're saying, "Wow, this guy's a fucking scammer. This guy's a liar. This guy's this." So what are you doing at that time to differentiate yourself and say, "You know what? I'm gonna be different out of all these guys."
Yeah. Well, listen. Once I fucking jumped through all the hoops of fire that I had to go through over here, and then I don't want to say anything bad about. I'm gonna shout out. Amazing wholesalers, okay, United A&S. I've been working with them for a very long time, okay. Ruben, my friend, live in my neighborhood. Aaron and Sam, amazing, businessmen. Simon Diamond, an amazing watch company that I've been doing business with. No issues, okay? Working for 20 years, no issues. No screaming, no yelling, no griminess, no false promises, none of that bullshit. Moon Jewellery, another fantastic manufacturing company. They're either Jewish companies, Korean companies, or whatever the hell it is, or George the Creator, or Eric the Jeweler. There's a million companies out here doing business. I'm going to differentiate the shitty ones from the good ones, okay? I'm going to do it. All right, to make sure. I'm sorry, I had to go on that.
No. Do you ever feel unsafe in this industry?
Well, that too. Yeah, that's a great
I'm
question.
curious.
It's a safe block. It's a safe block, yeah.
I just need so much money around, right? That's why I asked, because like I said, that was our first time going through here, and I'm like, damn. Like, first of all, the hustle and bustle is crazy. There's people just fucking running across the street going crazy here.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. So
like
I just
a movie,
wonder,
bro.
with so much money, so many people around, like, you ever feel like, damn, okay, shit's a little bit unsafe?
Yeah,
like,
well, people like to do it the sneaky way. You know what I'm saying? I had a friend of mine that I knew since 7th fucking grade that I put on, and I gave him a job. He tried to fuck me over. His name is Danny. He's a piece of shit, And
what up, Danny? Hope you're watching.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. So then this dirtbag, he goes out, he tries to build his own business, try to copy my shit like an arrogant little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Walking around, puffing up his chest, accomplishes nothing. Just ends up being a worker. Then he's a fucking half a drunk somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And his parents or whatever tell him to come back to me, and then he shows up. I put him on his feet. I give him a job. We organize the business. We do a lot of hard work. And then I hear he's taking bribes. Diamond deals $800,000, and I'm hearing he's taking bribes. I got to track down the company now that's been bribing this motherfucker or whatever he convinced them to do, this dirty rat. Okay,
so they're bribing him for what?
Bribing him like, I would sell the diamonds. The diamonds are at $400 a carat. Bill it at $450 and give me the fucking 25 per carat, okay? So you're talking about 50 grand, 30 grand here, there, so on and so forth. That's what I heard. And then this motherfucker, I suspend him. I'm like, it's September, and I suspend him. I'm like, listen, I'm going to investigate what's going on. Come back December 1st, and we'll talk. He's making good money here. He's doing great. 10 days before December 1st or so, he shows up here at 9:30 in the morning, empties a safety deposit box, a secret safety deposit box that he had downstairs, and leaves. Then he's like, I had my aunt's birthday. I'm like, you came at 9:30 in the morning without telling anybody, looking like a fucking cat burglar, to fucking go in with a backpack full of fucking gold bars and all sorts of shit. And he had the authority to write checks and do everything for my name. So now I got to go back through the bills. This fucking Danny piece of shit and his fucking fat fuck of a father Yuri, you know what I'm saying? Slob, bro, you know what I'm saying? That raised a retard. You know, like, listen, I make these young men into grown men.
Yeah.
And I give them jobs, and I give them fucking food to eat, and I give them a place of honor. And their father, who doesn't even have the decency, they're sitting there discussing the business. They're blinded by the money, but doesn't come in and shake my hand and show me some support so his son doesn't end up an alcoholic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? These people are bums, bro.
But do you think because of the name you built for yourself that there's sort of like there's a target on your back in a sense? Like people want to fuck you over? Like do you think because of the brand you've built? Like
I suppose so. I mean, listen, they see the money. I build my business on trust. Take a look out there. You're gonna see people sitting in their own booth. They take out their inventory with their own hands and they put it back in with their own hands. You're not gonna steal from them. You're not gonna get behind the counter.
Yeah.
It's them and their sons. Even brothers fuck over brothers on this block. Okay. So I have a bunch of fucking strangers moving, touching shit, 40, 30 people up and down and running around and doing business in my name. You know what I'm saying? So I built a business on trust, and that's why people think they could, like
weasel in.
Like if I was had access to your bank account and doing this and that, there would be an opportunity to do that. But that's why I have a competitive edge because I have a different type of business style. But that's it, like I got to figure that out. They could target my back all they want. Yeah. I'm happy to be targeted. I'm happy to fight in tooth and nail. I've been fighting tooth and nail for 17 years. I'm a fucking veteran, bro.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Vet. Remember the feds came down, somebody said, "Oh, I sold a watch here. I sold a watch here."
Yeah. So like a bunch of detectives came down and took a look. Somebody sold a watch and so on and so forth, and I was happy to see them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I got nothing to hide.
Sure.
Like they were looking for somebody to sell, but they all left laughing and having a great time.
Yeah. They just throw that name Trax out because Trax, Trax.
Because it's the biggest name they can say.
They remember it because they don't remember these fuckers.
That's what I'm saying. So let's say someone fucks you over, like you just said, that guy whatever came in 9:30 in the morning. But how's that conversation going now? With you and that person.
How's that conversation? Well, let me play a little.
Please, there's receipts.
What, you got voice notes or what?
Yeah. No,
it's a one-sided conversation,
this is
bro.
The voice notes that I left him. I mean, this is gonna be.
God, it's like a novel.
It's amazing.
You fucking grimy rat-faced fuck, bro. You and your fucking dumbass peasant fucking parents, bro. I put you on your feet, you fucking rat motherfucker. You sitting there jealously fucking trying to figure out how to rip me off for as much as possible, just like fucking and everybody else. You rat-faced piece of shit. Your fucking father and his fucking brother, bro. Fuck the both of them, motherfucker, bro. Get fucking ready, bitch.
Let me play the last one. The last one's
getting those. Imagine opening your phone.
I got a lot of those.
Wait, they're all on red too.
That's what I seen it, right?
2 check
the
marks.
last one is the best. One of my favorites.
I'm not ready.
So the backstory is I tell this guy, let's make videos. We could be famous, and we could set up this business. Fantastically. Then he's in the videos, and some of them you see because I'm trying to put him on. And his response was, "I'm not ready." You know what I'm saying? So, "I'm not ready. Are you ready?" You fucking. That's why I sent him this message right here.
I'm not ready. You're not ready. Are you ready yet?
This is how this man beats.
I love this.
Knock. Are you ready now, Danny? Are you ready? Are you still not sure I come back later?
You know what's hilarious though? They're gonna act like children. You're gonna treat them like children.
Yeah, I fucking shit all over him, bro. Fuck
That's
that,
amazing.
Man.
You can make a whole fucking audio book with those. An audio novel, bro.
I'm curious. Like, are there any jewelers that you would say, all right, like these guys, like I actually see them as sort of competition, and not even in a bad way. That like sort of
a healthy way,
like a healthy way.
It's
like
good,
there's any like guys you look
good.
at and you're like, yeah, like that guy's my competition.
Yeah.
That guy's my competition.
He keeps the pressure on you, or
yeah,
she.
they're all doing in a lot of ways better than me, in the sense that as jewelers they're better, as businessmen they're worse. Okay. Right? They'll take on a client and they'll make a big piece and they'll fucking hoard all their shit and they'll do everything that these other people are doing. But I'm not doing any of that. I don't really give a fuck about that. So you'll have a Eliante or this one or that one, and they'll make a monster piece for a big client. But me, I do 2.5 million so far this month in sales.
Let's go.
Congratulations.
Okay,
bro.
but that's because we have a team and we have a website and we're serving to all of America and internationally on our website, traxnyc.com, where we manufacture jewelry and shit like that. So as a business person, I'm trying to establish a brand, Cartier, who's been dead for maybe 100 years so far. But,
R.I.P. again.
Yeah, Cartier or Tiffany or whatever the hell, they don't, make some one piece for some person or something. They have a brand, a name that people buy. And that's really the business that we're building over here, like Rolex, Cartier, or Cartier, like the French like to say.
So you're not looking necessarily for that, like, crazy, intimate, one-on-one fucking piece with, like, someone crazy. You're just like, bro, we're in the business of money. Like, just however the fuck we can make the
I
most
gotta be
money.
honest with you. I'm not even looking for the money anymore. I'm looking to knock out these people that disrespected me, bro.
That's easy, though. That's
I
easier
love
than
that,
getting
though.
the money.
Yeah, well, once I'm
The money
done
will come with
grizzling
that.
them, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll get the money's cool and everything is great, but I don't want to. How do you make money? You make money by charging a lot and having very high profit margins, or having a big volume.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I really want to make a lot of money, I have to rip people off. Okay. Or really go through a lot of volume, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not my thing. All right, I'd rather charge a modest thing, make my money little by little, build up my inventory, take care of my workers, and have a fair business. And I live a great life. It's not like there's a place I can't go to, or something I can't do. You know what I'm saying? I fly comfortably, and I fly business class. Go to nice hotels, eat nice restaurants, live well. Have a beautiful business.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Just take it easy and build it up right.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you ever get absolutely rattled, absolutely heated, that you cannot watch the sports games you want in the country you're in, traveling too much, just can't get it done, they're not playing the games, especially the World Cup?
One day we're in a country that's showing the game, one day we're in a country that's not.
Trying to stream this shit is a mission.
And I know you guys have the same issues, but we're gonna fix that issue for
How?
you, okay?
How?
With NordVPN.
Thank you.
NordVPN, okay? Listen and listen carefully. The team at NordVPN wants to help you watch any sporting event, especially the World Cup in this moment, in any country you're at, and they make it so simple. You can virtually change your location, your IP address, beep, bop, 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 bop,
Super quick, actually.
to a country that is showing the game. It's that simple.
Yo, let's say you're going to Mexico.
You're in Mexico.
Yeah.
But for some reason you can't watch the game in Mexico.
Definitely can't.
Well, it's simple. Boop. NordVPN. You're back in the States. You're back in Canada. You're back to wherever you need to be. Stream that game. Watch the World Cup live in that moment. You don't have to miss out. You really don't have to miss out. And here's the better part about it, okay?
Oh, yeah?
It gets better than that.
Oh, shit.
It gets better than that.
Okay.
Sign up at nordvpn.com/mbh. You're gonna get a little special deal going on.
Nice.
And 4 months free.
Damn.
Now the beauty of all of that, because it gets even better than
Stop.
that. 30-day money-back guarantee. It's a free
What?
trial. Sign up, test it out. If you like it, boom, keep it rolling. If you don't like it, boom, you can cancel. No commitment.
I like
this
that.
is not a marriage. It doesn't have to be long-term if you don't want it to. Shout out the team at NordVPN, no?
Yo, shout out NordVPN. You're watching the boys right now. We're fucking watching games. We're playing
Yep.
parlays, and that's how we're doing it, bro.
Yep.
Shout out NordVPN. Let's get back to the show.
I want to say two things. I think even the way that you've been building the brand, you can eventually charge people more with building a premium brand.
I suppose so.
That's when
yeah.
you can get there, whatever. But also, I think with you being the face of the brand, that's been huge, which I don't see much
Right.
Well, because a lot of them
in
they're
Diamond
like,
District or in jewelry in
A lot
general.
of them don't have nothing to say to begin with.
Or they want to, hide behind, or whatever. But I feel like people come in here and then they see you and they're like, "Oh shit, I saw him on the, on my YouTube. I saw him on my
Right.
Instagram.
Yeah.
I already
They
feel
love
like
that.
I already like him more because I know someone here and I can watch him and I can relate to him in some sort of
Yep.
way. So I think with that, you're able to kind of grow the brand and also charge more too.
Yeah, I mean, my tactic is listen. When people come here, I tell them the Diamond District is yours.
Yeah.
I tell them because I open up my business. My store's over here. You could sit down. You could work with the staff. You could get to know people. You just do the right fucking thing, whether you're a client or employer, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So you don't end up like a Georgie or a Noah. You know what I'm saying? That they have to shit on them. Like again, I don't have no fuck. I want these people to be successful, a Georgie or a Noah or this, but not on my dime.
Yeah.
Now when your success is my failure. Now I have to tell you you know what I'm saying, your word ain't shit. I have these two people working here. I told them I'm going to make you guys into serious celebrity, serious stars. Like I built Paul, who's competing with Eliante or so on and so forth. But you know, he put his dues in. I'm gonna sit here, put you guys on the fast track, because you got to be loyal to my business for at least some sort of amount of time, or work it out a deal. Nah, they said they give me their word. You know, I'm gonna work with MBH. I'm gonna be loyal to you guys. Put me on, and then I fuck you over, start my own podcast or some shit like that. It's okay to do that, but not when I gave you my word that I won't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they gave me their word. I'm like, are you sure? I was not like we were drinking and they said yeah, and I was what. Over and over again, I would ask him, and now these motherfuckers are out there, you know, scraping by, and you know, it's turning into a Diamond District war, because I'm gonna find out who backs them up, shit on them and their businesses and all this other stuff. You motherfuckers can't handle what I'm gonna fucking do. You can't, because you're backwards. I didn't need to copy anybody's business. I didn't need to fuck anybody over. I didn't need to rip anybody off. I came up with a business strategy on my own. That's why I could outmaneuver all of you any fucking time, and I will. That's my word. Put it down on the podcast, record it for all fucking time, and watch it 10 years from now. We'll see where the fuck you're at, Georgie.
It's on record, people.
The
Georgie,
complicated thing, though, that people may not understand looking at it, it's not just quitting a job.
Yeah.
He gets on there, he builds these people up. He says, Georgie's the watch guy.
Yeah.
Noah's the custom
Trusted
jeweler
guy,
Yeah.
bro.
And that carries. Like, that reputation's going to carry.
course,
So if you're just going to jump in, be here for a few months, be here for a year, and then fuck off, you've taken something.
Well, he's giving you the keys and like, bro, even the network, the clients that come in here, right? Like, that's the money. That's the intangibles that they get.
Because
right?
customers, they come back to the same guy. They want to work with the same guy. If Noah's does a
course.
custom,
Got a
someone's
good
going to buy a
time with
couple
him,
from
good
him.
customer
Yeah.
service.
Yo, my
they wanna
man,
come back.
I took years off my fucking life trying to put this shit together.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes, screaming, going through hell,
Sounds like me, bro.
neglecting
He's
my
still
health, not going here, not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Because
This guy's like my guy.
I know that. I know
We're doing
that.
the same thing as you, bro. We're,
Right,
we're doing the same thing.
Exactly. You know,
Well, the
but
cigarettes.
the stress, you know what I'm saying? Not with $1 million debt, not when, you know, with credit card fraud through your ass and shit like that. I went through all that to put people on a fast track, and they still want to fuck me over, bro.
Okay, now how does this work
Not
now?
gonna happen.
How has this affected your mindset as an entrepreneur? Even just you as an entrepreneur, all these people fucking you over, because even us, we have a business back at home, and we've been through the same thing. Maybe not the same scale, but we teach someone, we train someone, we give them everything they have, and then they just leave.
Right.
Next time around, I'm like thinking twice if I'm gonna hire that person,
Unfortunately, yeah.
right? Like, is that
That's
affecting
why
the same
there's
way?
so many gates and locked doors in the world. Who are you? That's why love grows cold. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To be put in and put on and so on and so forth. When this motherfucker Georgie fucks over after being a mortgage broker or wherever the fuck he was, or Noah, and tries to do fucking grimy shit, that blocks the next person that I can't even do shit for, show love to. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's all about me. It's that corrupt mentality, you know what I'm saying? That's how these Venezuela and whatever, or you know what I'm saying, some country in the Middle East or some shit, they grow corrupt. The people get elected, they rip off the same natural resources, they don't care.
It's just a habit. It becomes a habit.
Yeah, it becomes the game, and it's a nasty, nasty game, nasty way of thinking, but it ain't the way I think, and that ain't the way it's gonna go down on my end.
I'm curious. It's a little bit off the topic, but it's just based on the fact that it seems like you just don't really give a fuck and you'll say whatever you want, which I like. That's kind of why we have this podcast in the first place. I saw in a video not too long ago, you did like a piece with Trump's face on it.
Yeah.
It was a Trump face.
Kodak.
And you're like, I had for Kodak, exactly. And you're like, I pretty much had to hide like my love for this guy for so long, but now like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We're big Trump fans, okay? So I think we're on the
Trump's
same.
a dangerous man, but
Yeah.
you know, when you have an option, but go ahead.
No, but my question was like, what are your thoughts on him? You said you love him. You kind of had to hide it for a bit. Obviously, you're in New York, which is a pretty like left leaning.
Yeah.
But you also come from the
state.
Soviet Union, so,
So
like
I'm
you've seen
just-
both sides.
I'm always just curious. Anyone who likes Trump, I always like to ask him like, what are your thoughts on him? Why,
yeah, well,
why
listen.
do you fuck
I
with
mean,
him?
I kept that quiet in the beginning because it was, you know, there's a herd mentality in the world. Trump bad, or you know this, you know what we went through with that pandemic and all that shit, and you know what I'm saying. I'm not even gonna say the key
Don't
words.
even say the
Yeah.
words. Don't even say it.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to bleep
We're
those
gonna
out.
get
You can say
fucked up.
fuck all you want.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. So going through all of that, you know, seeing that, I'm an independent thinker, and the way I explained it to my friend, right? You know, when it was the previous election, you got two horses. You're stuck in the middle of the desert. You got two horses. One horse is Donald Trump. He bites, he kicks, but he's fucking tough as hell. And when you get on him, he's gonna fucking get going, and he's gonna get you out that desert. And the other horse doesn't bite, doesn't kick, but it's a little lame. it's got one eye, and it can't really go very far. So, you know what I'm saying? Your options are not to which horse, to get bit by a horse or not. Your options are to die in the desert or not.
Yeah.
Okay? You could get on the horse, and it might bite you. It might fucking bite your whole finger off. Who the fuck knows? But you'll know it'll get you out of the desert that you're in. It'll fight China. It'll do this. It'll be tough. You know that if you poke Trump, he'll fucking hit your back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's coming from the business world. So Putin wouldn't have invaded Ukraine because he knew he would have fucking hit back. It's his nature, guaranteed.
The North Korea shit was crazy.
Yeah,
He had control. Like he had respect.
Yeah.
You know,
he flexed.
listen, whoever's listening out there, whatever, even if you're small, weak, or strong, or whatever, as long as people will know that you will retaliate, they'll think twice.
Yes.
And especially when you're in the United States and you know that you'll retaliate and go all the way, they'll think twice. Why did Putin do what he did? Because he thought nobody would retaliate.
And they
would
didn't.
diddle and daddle and fiddle and faddle and this and that and so on and so forth. So yeah, I had the 2 horses, and I want a horse that's gonna. It's okay, I get bit. I'm not saying he's a perfect person, and he's a true savior, and I love him. You know what I'm saying? But the way he was kicking ass and talking shit and fake news and all that shit there's a lot of truth to it. I'm not with it. I'm not with the institutions. I'm not double masking and doing all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with it, bro.
My guy.
Facts. It's
Someone had
facts.
to say here. It was gonna be one of us if you didn't say it.
That's it. So that's really what it was for me. So it's
Yeah.
not
And
about loving him.
How was the pandemic for you though? Being here,
Yeah.
being in lockdown, I guess.
I was never locked down.
There
I
you
came
go.
here all the time.
That's
I
my
mean, me
guy.
personally. Because the thing is, I saw what was happening in Wuhan early, and I am geared up, and I had all the gear to be able to do what I got to do and protect my staff and handle what the fuck I had to handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you
You're
know what I'm
good.
saying? Before anybody else knew what was going on, I already had, and I had to donate a bunch of masks to the local hospital when they ran out because I had a lot of before anything even went down because I saw what was going on.
Yeah.
Were you in the PPE game?
I was, I was. I mean, the thing is,
I know a lot of guys that were in it. That's why I'm
Yeah.
asking.
I mean, I was there when I saw Wuhan and they were doing kung fu to keep people out of their neighborhoods, and I thought that this shit was fucking. I thought this shit was gonna be out of control, but they're still doing it over there.
they're
That's
still doing it.
fucking
So
crazy.
I was fucking prepared for that. Then when
Yeah.
it came, I did lose a friend of mine, rest in peace, Paulie Cuts,
R.I.P.
and all that other stuff, and went through all that. But it was just a debacle, bro,
Yeah.
from beginning to end. But me, I was just prepared. I wanted to take care of my family and take care of what it is. I donated. Even a punk fuck like Georgie, who's sitting there, like he's sitting there ragging on me because I had a lot of PPE and I had the whole fucking 9. I was ready for everything. And I had to take care of him and give some to his sister and everything else take care like that. He took that all happy willy-nilly building trust. Punk fuck.
Probably wearing 3 masks
PPE
right now,
king.
bro.
PPE
And
king.
I want to talk
yeah.
about quickly because you made that Trump pendant for Kodak because he pardoned Kodak. What's your relationship like with Kodak? How'd you guys meet? How'd that
Yeah.
come to be? I'm so curious because I'm a big fan of Kodak.
I think
so.
he watches my videos, man.
Robert,
Dope.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you know what I'm saying? Anybody who watches my videos gets to know me. He's an independent thinker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's really, and we did the piece where we did the gremlin stuff, and not to go into that all over again, but I got in. I was able to build a relationship with Kodak, we got going with there, and then he watches my videos. He likes what I got to say. He likes my energy. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a leader in his industry. I'm a leader in mine,
Yeah.
and we're building a relationship.
You feel like when
that.
you speak out as much as you do, because we do the same, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like there's gonna be a lot of love and a lot of hate? There's gonna be
Yeah.
both,
Yeah.
an amount of
Yeah,
both.
I mean, I get a lot of love, but it's where the money's at where things get nasty.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Where the money's at is where things get nasty. People try to cut throats for money, cut throats for glory, cut throats for pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like Noah. Cut throats for all sorts of shit to look fucking big and look fucking hard and get the joys of life or what have you.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're willing to push you off a cliff for that, bro. And that's where the hate comes in. Other than that, I'm docile. I get along with anybody. Even if I see you're frustrated, I could diffuse you. I could make you comfortable if I wanted to. Because by the output of your words, I carefully listen. I'll give you the proper input. then I'll be able to, you know what I'm saying? I have a sense and awareness of you and awareness of the people here, their emotional state, their thinking. So, you know, all that is, but where people lose sight of everything is greed and money, and that's where you make enemies.
How many people are part of the Trax team?
It's like 30, 40 people here.
Damn.
Crazy.
Very cool, bro.
How does it feel to have, you know, that many people sort of to take care of, to feed? Yeah.
It's a big responsibility. That all depends on those people.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's like saying, you know, how does it feel to have 100 feathers in your wing? Well, if the feathers are feathers, they help you fly. But if they're made out of, iron, then they weigh you down.
Fly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really about what the quality of the people are. If you group, a company is what? It's a core group of elite people. If you really group them and give them the opportunity, what happens, it's like turns into an organism. And things benefit one another. You know what I'm saying? Your kidney works with your heart, which work with your lungs, which work with your this, which work with your that, to help you work with your brain to make a big organism that's powerful.
Yeah.
Instead of the single-celled entities that are out there that are hard to compete. That's why grouping together is a natural function that gives organisms an advantage. States, cities, nations, companies.
True.
If you get the right players in the game, you're going to do better than any individual.
Yeah.
If someone wants to come work for you, what's the process?
The process is usually they work with somebody in here.
Yeah.
They work for a week. We get to know them. They get to know us. And if the shoe fits, you know, then we continue the business relationship.
Is
Nice
it
test
for you
run
guys?
like
Is it
that.
like
Test run. Test run. Keep that in mind, guys.
Yeah.
The most important thing.
for you guys?
Go on a date before you get married. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Test drive it before.
Don't do it on the first meeting.
Yeah.
For you guys, is it obviously? I'm sure the work ethic is a big piece, but is there a cultural thing for you guys when you bring someone on the team? Like, do they got to fit the culture?
Not really. I mean, the culture is very free here. It's all sorts of different people with different backgrounds doing different things. It's just a matter of your core character and your core. If you were raised right, were you raised right by your parents, or were you raised by Yuri?
I love how everything comes full circle, bro.
Who raised you, bro? Who raised you?
Yeah, who raised you? You know what I'm saying? Were you raised with the right appropriate morals and the appropriate thing? Do you have the appropriate foundation to be able to build that skyscraper and develop your skills? If you do, you're a good person, trustworthy, you know what I'm saying? Your word stands for something. Your yes means yes, your no means no, then yeah.
Yeah. We do the same thing. We like to test run people.
Yeah, you give them a chance to prove themselves, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to judge somebody from afar, but it's all about what they say. And for me, any red flag is a red flag, you know what I'm saying? If someone says they'll be there at 12 and then they show up at 1 and then they say like, oh, the train was this and that was that and here and there and this and that, it's already bullshit.
Yeah. I want to go into YouTube a bit.
Yeah, go.
You've been on YouTube for a while now. 10, 12 years?
Yeah.
Something like that?
I was ignoring it for a while, but then I got going with it.
Yeah, but like you've been pretty consistent with it.
Yeah.
So what made you want to initially start doing those videos?
Right.
Because I think it was pretty like a pioneer move of you to do that at that time.
Right.
And then how have you been able to stay so consistent, and why has that been important for you?
Well, obviously, you know, marketing is the key to every business. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mr. Beast has these chocolate bars.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But let's talk business. He has an amazing YouTube channel, but some chocolate bars inside, you know, that are manufactured somewhere somehow, and then he puts the logo on it, and that's it. I built the reverse. I built a business that manufactures things on my own. You know, Mr. Beast doesn't run the chocolate factory that builds chocolate bars or whatever, but I run this factory. I get the raw materials.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get the raw gold, the diamonds, and I have them assembled and so on and so forth. And now it requires the proper marketing apparatus.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To attach to the business, and that's why I needed to make that happen for the sake of my business, for the sake of the factory.
I think the way you do it and the way you document it, it's like you're documenting your day to day. You're documenting a new piece. Oh, look how we manufacture this.
Yeah.
You're educating people as well. So when they do come in here,
Yeah.
they already trust you a little bit more. They're like, oh, he's teaching me this stuff for free.
Right.
When other people won't.
Yeah.
It's just free knowledge.
That's true.
Right?
And you-
so I think
you're-
that's cool. I think that's been
Appreciate
great.
that.
The other jewelers would rather you knew a little less, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? You
Yeah.
really don't
The
have
less
much.
you know, the easier you are to fuck over. And listen, you know,
Yeah.
to all the jewelers or whatever watching, and it's not my interest to sit here and give away business secrets, but I'm just
Yeah.
not a good liar. I can't sit here and tell somebody a bunch of bullshit, man.
But
I
there's
just
good
can't.
liars out there, though. There
Yeah,
are.
There are, I guess. I don't even care. I like the truth. I like the power of the truth. I
So
use
so
that.
if someone wants to get into the industry and they're a 17, 16-year-old, what would be your advice to them?
Do you really want to go down this fucking road? You know what I'm saying?
That's question one.
That's the real question. You know what
Okay,
I'm
they
saying?
say yes. Let's say they say yes.
You know that this industry is tipsy-turvy because if you're in for the fight of your life, and then 20 years later, you know, like if you make a choice when you're 18 and then you know, when you're 36 like I am, you're like, yo, you know, first and foremost, test out a couple of different things, do a trial run, but you're in for a journey, you know, like the way to get in is to work for free in a shop if they'll have you, to, you know, like people work as an apprentice on a bench to learn how to do the jewelry work, and then 2-3 generations later you could be you could be manufacturing on a large scale, but that takes a lot of that sometimes takes 2-3 generations.
Okay.
You could start working as a sales guy for free in a store, and then 2-3 generations have a great store.
Yeah.
That's 2-3 generations. Your great grandson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your grandson. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that.
It's
You know-
time.
You know,
It's
so
time.
if you're gonna try to eke that door open, and then you know you eke, and then you fight, and then you finally open up your store when you're 45 years old because you learned the trade and you built enough clients and you so on and so forth, and then you're gonna have to pass that store on to a son and then grow that up, and then he's gonna, and then you know,
And
you
one
never
son
know
can
what
fuck
happens.
everything up.
Yeah, one son can fuck everything up. He could get on drugs. He can empty out the safe.
Well, what's your goal when you look at that? Is it to keep building this generations after generation?
Not really. I mean, I'm trying to do. I already did like 2-3 generations worth of work in one. So you know what I'm saying. For me,
Yeah.
I got to establish this brand.
Okay.
Teach people. You know, why do you even want to talk to me? Because I can answer a question that you ask in an interesting way. I want to give the people that are watching the proper perspective and the proper information. And in return, what do you give me, viewer? You give me the notoriety and the acknowledgement of my brand.
Yes.
So I give you info, you give me acknowledgement of my brand. I have to repeat that process over and over so that to find the interest of the gentleman over here, to find the interest of the viewers, to understand the business sense, and then I want to establish a brand for gold and diamond jewelry and watches.
Have you ever, obviously you're very out there, socials, all that stuff. Have you ever like been canceled, or has anyone tried to cancel you for anything you've ever
Not
said?
really. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know,
I'm
like
surprised.
they
I'm
give me a pass because, you know, I'm an immigrant in this country. You know what I'm saying? I paved my own way, and I don't really fit into this cancel culture bullshit and so on and so forth.
Well,
you know?
they tried in the Great Diamond War, and then they realized he was an immigrant, and they're like,
Oh shit, my bad. Then they could have got
can't do
canceled.
it.
You
Yeah.
could have canceled them back.
You know, like I'll
tried.
fight my. You know, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight for my right to say what I'm trying to say. You know, I'm not in the institution, and then on the other hand, my personality is not that, and not to such an extent that they have. You know, I'm not in their club where they care what I say.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And that's my shield. You know, I'm out there in the peripheral doing something else where I'm not sitting there and, you know, like, I don't know who to really target in this particular conversation, but I'm not in their little world.
Yeah.
But you know, like some companies, you know, I used to do work with GQ, or eBay had me lobbying in Congress at some point in time when I was the #1 eBay guy when I was like 18, 19. That's crazy. I went to Schumer's Congress and whatever the fuck it is. Now, they invited their sellers to go to Washington, D.C. I went over there, and then we went to see, you know, Nancy Pelosi's office or whatever the fuck.
Holy fuck.
No way.
That's crazy.
They smell like
Oh, from
booze.
eBay?
And I got pictures from lobbying in Congress, because back
Jesus.
then they didn't want taxes, international or stolen goods on eBay, and they opened up an office in D.C. or whatever. And I was in the top 1%, and I was lobbying in Congress for like a couple of days with this jerk that they hired. He was like a Harvard graduate, and, you know, I was talking so much shit because I was a young punk. He jumped out of the cab, you know, and then you want to, whatever. So
And fuck him
yeah,
too.
the guy that was supposed to take us from office to office to lobby, he was you know, he was a Harvard graduate working for eBay. Just a fucking loser, though. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he was we weren't DC people and all that. It was just some punks that were in the top 1% businessmen, and I was, you know, almost straight out of high school, and now I'm in Congress, lobbying in Congress for eBay. And I was just talking a lot of shit, and the guys just pulled over the cab and got out of it because I was like, you know, annoying him or whatever. So I did all of that, and but now I'm not going to be doing that. They're not going to be inviting me. I'm too risky.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I'm
that's why I
But
asked.
fuck them, bro.
right?
I'm going to
Like-
build my own industry, build my own
Just
money.
build your
and
own
that's it.
shit, yeah.
That's what America's about, in case you motherfuckers don't know, if you're watching per chance. America's about independence, entrepreneurship, and, you know, self-reliance. That's what the fuck country I came for. That's the country I'm going to live in.
Yeah.
Not that bullshit that you're trying to make out there with all that woke shit and whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
All right, they came, they pioneered, you know what I'm saying? You know, the story, the Oregon Trail, whatever the fuck. That's what it's about, and that's what it's gonna be. It ain't about nannies and we're boo-hoo. You know, all that other
To go
shit.
back in your cancel question, it's like, think about how do you cancel somebody whose whole viewer base is not sensitive at all? Like, if you're
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
hacks of shit, like,
That's-
you're ready for it.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I think essentially the reason you've probably built a big portion of the audience you have is because they think the same way.
Yeah.
They're like, yes, say it with your chest, even if they necessarily
Say it
don't
with your
agree with
chest,
something
yeah.
that you that you said or not. They still respect the fact
You gotta
that you
say
said
it tactically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you start sitting here and disparaging certain people for no reason or so on and so forth, right? If I want to tell a story about what's happening in the Diamond District, I'm gonna go to the fall of Solomon's Temple. I'm not gonna say something about a certain group of people or so on. So I'm gonna tell you about Babylon. I'm gonna tell you what the fuck's going on. You know what I'm saying? And
So
you
it's
know,
not really names. You're not gonna necessarily name drop. You'll just you'll hit like something biblical.
You'll
to
find
kinda
a Bible
just-
quote. every
Creative
time, bro.
storyteller, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Just being smart about it.
I want to
hear
talk
you.
about gold a little bit. I know
Sure.
you talk a lot about gold
Sure.
and investing in gold and the
Right.
benefits of investing in gold.
Yeah. You don't invest in gold, you save in gold.
Okay,
Gold
so
is
talk
a
to us
nice, good
about this.
savings,
Talk to
yeah.
us about
Yeah.
this because we have a lot of young viewers that are looking to invest in things that are solid, you know?
Yes.
So talk to us. And
Okay.
I know what your opinion on
I'll
crypto.
tell you what the big game is.
Even
yeah?
on crypto though. I know
On
your
the
opinion on
crypto,
crypto,
yeah.
so maybe a gold versus crypto
All right.
kind of thing.
First and foremost, be true before you gold, crypto, or anything. I'll be true with yourself. You want more money, right? Right.
Facts.
Do you
yeah.
give a fuck what happens to someone else or how they get to where that money comes from? No, you don't. Well, you should, because that's the way to get more money. The key to money, wanting more is not enough to have more. You can't come up to a girl and say, "Hey, I want to fuck." Or I want this. It's not going to work that way. You have to sit here and find some sort of a finesse with money and with the things you really want in life to have them. Lesson number 1. So don't just sit there and say you want more money so you can be a glorious guy, because that's not going to happen. All right? Now, so you want more money. Now, what do I do here? I want more money. I have a productive business. What is that? I take raw materials, gold, diamonds. I take labor, craftsmen. I put that together. I output a product with a margin. So people give me money, and then I give them a product that costs intrinsically less to manufacture with a margin for my services. And I keep it, right? So like Honda will sell a car for $20,000, and they will, the car will cost $10,000 to manufacture. Another $2,000 on top to market, and some money for the dealership and the wholesale, and that's the business.
Yeah.
People gladly drop off their $20,000 and take the car off the
course.
lot. Okay, now we'll take a crypto. You know what I'm saying? What is a crypto producing? Is it taking raw materials and then coming out with a crypto or something like that? No, you're just pumping up a market price. And then somebody, the last person to get in, is completely fucked.
Yeah.
Because they're not walking, when they spend $20,000, they're not walking around with a Honda that they're going to drive for the next 300,000 miles.
Yeah.
They don't have anything. They have some shit somewhere that's in a dream they believe. And some of the comments I say, you're uneducated on it. There's no education, bro. You want to sell this shit for more money to somebody. You want to buy it for a penny and someone somewhere to buy it for $1, and you don't give a fuck what happens. Keep it real. Number 1. Keep it fucking real. Number 2. You got these fucking exchanges. It's supposed to be decentralized, supposed to be this, but you're sending your money to some fucking hole in a wall, motherfucker. Binance, Finance, BitFi, ThisFi. Why do you think they're setting up these businesses, bro? Whose money are they getting? You're all coming into a pot. As soon as you motherfuckers rush for the door, you're going to be fucked.
Yep.
Okay? And the other thing. So people pump up the money, they put their money in these exchanges, but all those people that work there, they got to get paid. All that machinery money's leaking out. So the longer you wait, the less money there is, okay? No matter what. As everybody's sitting in Bitcoin waiting for it to go up, just keeps going down. It's evaporating slowly. Then they sell it and they're waiting. That's not a fucking game to play. If you own Honda, and they're selling Hondas, they're gaining capital. They're taking 20,000 and they're outputting 10,000.
Yep.
Okay? So they're inputting money, so their capital is going to grow over time, not decrease over time. You're owning something that decreases over fucking time as money leaks out, waiting for someone to buy in who only wants to sell out at a higher fucking price. So when the price tops out, then it's over. And you see it over and over. But can you accept that in your heart? You know what I'm saying? Can you accept that Bitcoin, can you imagine being a fucking Bitcoin guy that bought it at fucking 60 grand at the
that's
top?
fucked. That's fucked.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's
Those
fucked.
people are waiting, chipping away at their money, They're never going to see your money again. All of you gave your money to whoever bought it for a penny. Period.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're on a yacht, you're not. That's it. Don't wait anymore. No one's buying it at 40,000. You can go to the moon. And go to the moon and what? So you could sell it to some dumb fuck that's going to buy it on the moon?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Then he's
bro.
gonna sell it on Mars. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the game. So here's the game in the world. Here's the problem with this generation, the problem with people. People don't understand the state of humanity, the greed, and the thieves of the world. Tom Brady, Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Fantastic, this fucking moron, bro, on Shark Tank. Here's the deal. Here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to do this. You don't know shit from sugar. Now he wants regulation. He's putting his fish. Get the fuck out of here. You placed a bad bet, Kevin O'Leary. You fucked up. Get off the stage, bro. That's it. You're caught with your fucking pants down, bro. It's over.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I think FTX.
The reason being, and I don't want to, because FTX and this and that, admit it, there's no saving grace here. Tom Brady's out there with this guy and so on and so forth. You could take a look at 5 seconds at that motherfucker and have a question mark over your head, like, what the fuck is going on?
That's what I'm saying. These guys gave him like 600. Tom Brady gave him $650 million.
Yeah, I hope not, bro.
No. That's
I
official.
hope, that's a shame because he should have been. I thought he was giving Tom Brady money for the endorsement.
For
bro.
endorsing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Listen, it is what it is. But the world is filled with these thieves, and guess what? FTX and these other little crypto shits. Once the input is smaller than the output, they're gonna start collapsing. That's cool. There's also an economy. We're gonna get to gold, right? There's also an economy out there. Once you have the ratio of thieves to hardworking people be disproportionate, more thieves than hardworking people, when you have more people sitting on the cart than people pulling the cart, things start to change. And that's where we're at in this society. Before, everybody was pulling the cart. There was 2-3 people sitting on it. It was light to pull. Nobody cared. Then somebody kept sneaking onto the cart. Now people pulling the cart are pulling it much harder. Everyday workers have to work 10 times harder. They're fucking tired of pulling this shit. People are start climbing onto the top of the cart. That's the dynamic that's happening. It's greed and it's savagery. And it's happening in the government when they're printing money and the U.S. dollar.
Yep.
So it's a historic game, right? When Cortez came to, the Mayans or the Incas, what did he do? Did he ask for, the secrets of their universe? No. He said, fill this room with gold or else I'm going to shoot you in your fucking faces. Period. Fill this room with what? With Bitcoin? No. You know what I'm saying? With anything? No. With gold. Give me the fucking gold because I'll come back to Europe, I'll buy a villa, and I'll finally chill the fuck out. My bones are aching from being on this ship. And they went and they were laden with gold, and some of them got shot, and they went to war, and they did all this, and they killed each other for this particular metal because it was a reliable measure of who has and who has not. And governments used it, but once you gain trust, remember the word trust and remember the nature of a thief. You know what I'm saying? Remember the word trust is an important word. You motherfuckers, you little punk fucks out there who want Bitcoin, who want this, who want to sell something for that you got for a penny for $100, you're only thinking about yourselves. And you don't even know yourselves. You're ready to steal and betray your own friends and do all sorts of grimy shit. That word trust is a very important word, especially when it comes to currencies, especially when it comes to governments. Right? So in 1970s, we went off the gold reserve, and the world trusted the United States dollars that it's going to work in the interest of everybody. And it was doing so good for a while. And then, they then started with the money, the greed. They started stealing. The average people didn't know what was going on. And you had the Jeffrey Epsteins, you know what I'm saying, and all this other shit, Bill Clinton and the private jets and the scumbags all over the fucking place. And, things started getting fucking dirty. 9/11, wars in Iraq, Dick Cheney making billions. People started running for the printed capital.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If you give me $100 trillion and you put it in my bank account tomorrow, will the currency inflate?
Yeah, 100%.
No, it won't until I spend it.
Oh, okay. True. Not okay.
I
not
can have
saying
100
printing.
trillion, and there might be somebody with a 100 trillion in their bank account right now, bro. You don't know that. It's only when they spend it. They'll buy a Lambo, they'll buy 2, they'll get a villa, they'll get a private jet, they'll get a yacht. You still haven't even hit $100 million yet.
Yeah.
So they spend and they control people and they inflate slowly, but there's money in it. But then they have to compete for different things. Other thieves compete with other thieves. And all this is happening in the back scenes that people aren't even aware of what the fuck is really going on in the big scheme of things, right? Because you could print all the money you want. It's how you spend it. Right? If they took that $1 trillion that they spent on Iraq and they really cared, and you could really see the heart of the nation, if they cared and they built, a solar panel, production, give somebody a job for $40 an hour to build solar panels, to build this economy up and to do everything like that. If they really cared, they could have did that, infrastructure, shit like that. You wouldn't even recognize this country after that trillion. Because guess what, you fucking assholes? When you spend that trillion, or you spend that money, then you spend that money, then they spend that money with someone else, then someone spreads it, someone else. Money flows through the economy. Again, you have to find where the money goes. You can't just say, I want more in your greedy little hearts. That's not enough.
Yeah.
And where does gold come in? When there's nobody to trust. When the game is coming to an end and things start to unraveling and we got to find out who has and who does not, we have to measure it on a scale.
Damn. Old school, baby.
Goes back to the beginning.
Yeah.
And then you could see, oh, he has it on a scale. Now I could give. How did the Medici, all right? There's an old Italian family that went into banking.
Yeah.
How did they build currency? Gold is hard to carry, weigh around. So you give me all your gold. You trust Trax NYC. And, I'll give you a gold certificate. I'll say, MBH has a 10 ounces. I'll give you a 10-ounce certificate, or I'll give you 10 1-ounce certificates. So you have a piece of paper that represents 1 ounce of gold in the Bank of Trax. Okay? And now you have that, and instead of getting that gold and bringing it to somebody, you transfer the certificate over.
Okay.
And now all of a sudden, a new currency is created
Okay.
based on the trust that Trax actually has 10 ounces in his fucking vault of yours. But then Trax makes an 11th ounce that's made out of paper, and then becomes a thief himself. That's what usually people do. And the Medici did it, or they loaned it, or they did it, and you get the banking system, and the game goes again. And nobody in that system, not the Medici, not the Rothschilds, no one's ever going to explain that to you. Once they know it, they keep it quiet, and they don't tell you, and the games go on. Like FTX and all these people. Be wary, be watchful. Out of all the things I told you on this podcast or on any other podcast, this was the most important fucking thing. Okay? It's a game of trust. Who are you? Are you trustworthy? 99 of you that are out of the 100 are not. Figure that out on your own. Which one are you? And to what extent you could be trusted. What you're worth and what you want. And all your Bitcoiners and all this other shit. They get personally, emotionally hurt. It's not my fault you want to buy something for a penny, sell it for $100 fucking. The motherfuckers complain about my silver jewelry is overpriced or this and that. At least you could hold it in your fucking hands. Motherfuckers want to buy it. Get real. Okay, when Bitcoin, the technology and the concept is great. But now you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, this one, that one, here, there. All these fucking phony baloney bullshit ass, one after the other, thousands of cryptos. Doesn't that ring a bell that what people are doing with this shit? Let's flush, and the NFTs were the worst.
Oh, bro, don't get me started.
Dude, go look through the history books and see if Trax ever told you to buy his NFT when everyone else was doing it. Somebody came up to me and was like, you should make jewelry out of NFTs. I'm like, I make jewelry out of fucking precious materials, bro. Not out of fucking ones and zeros on someone's computer somewhere on a microchip. Are you out of your minds? Board a yacht club. You know what I'm saying?
This guy's killing me.
There was I saw somebody, completely encompassed the whole scam. Someone was like, kindly asked to buy my board yacht club ape, and I blocked her. So for the biggest loser in the world. This Kylie Jenner is asking for a board yacht, and you block her. Now you're number one because you got it. Get the fuck out of here with your shit, bro. You fucking savages. You know what I'm saying? You're getting duped by all this shit. It just came to a point because non-fungible token. Oh, you can't funge it. You fucking bullshit, bro. It's all bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so for, let's say, an everyday guy or girl that wants to get into gold,
Right.
what would you recommend for them to get started?
There's an old book. It was called The Richest Man in Babylon. All right?
Yeah.
You heard about
Yeah, I
this?
know the book.
The concept is very simple. For at least 25% of your earnings of your life is yours to keep forever. It's supposed to only transfer in wealth. When you spend money, like you buy a dinner, you bought it, or you buy clothing and that's gonna wear out. That's wears out. That's okay. You live your life and you spend it, but 25% of all of your income has to transform into different forms of wealth. You sit here and you buy silver every month, right? You make $3,000 a month. So $800, $500 a month. You're supposed to save. In dollars, it's hard to save. You could buy Berkshire Hathaway stock. You could buy some stock. You could save it in silver. You could buy a little half ounce of gold or a quarter ounce of gold every month. Stack it. Then you take that money, and after you save enough, you buy yourself an apartment, and it snowballs. And then you rent that apartment. You buy yourself a house. That money never leaves you.
Yeah.
The money that you spent, it's transferred to silver, to property. It could transfer to a business. It could transfer to an income of an apartment. It could transfer to a home, and then it gets passed down to another generation. That's been the wealth from the beginning of time, how it's been from Babylon till now. Okay? You earn, you save, and you reinvest the savings. Now, in order to buy an apartment, you have to save capital. You could save it in gold, silver, you know. But now we're living in a time when something can happen to the currencies, and you could really see a big influx in gold.
Yeah.
Because what it was when the dollar was on the reserve to what it is now is completely off the rails. It's all Epstein bullshit. There's a whole background people of disgusting things going on that you can't see, and it's happening. And then it's going to come to a head in our lifetimes. That's my personal belief. And you're going to see what that is. Gold is not going to make you rich, but it's not going to make you poor either, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's going to give you a great way for you to set aside your money, set aside your capital. Maybe John, sets his money aside in some sort of stocks. I'm dabbling in stocks. I'm trying to buy, when in inflationary times, companies that own great infrastructure, that value that infrastructure goes up, railroads and shit like that. I own a couple of Occidental Petroleum or some shit. I don't only buy gold. I invest in my business. I'll invest in marketing. I'll invest in commercials. There's a lot of ways to do it. But if you're an average person and you're stacking gold, stacking silver, nice and comfortably, you could do well over time and then reinvest that into property and build a good life, even if you slow and steady wins the race.
Might have to start stacking some gold, bro.
I was gonna say I like that though, because that is like the.
And it's realistic, right? The way you broke it down is realistic for anyone.
But it's the traditional approach. It's like you're saying. It's not buy this non-fungible token for 3 cents. You're gonna sell it for $4 billion.
Stop trying to fuck somebody over. Is really what it is.
It's literally
Stop trying to fucking sit here and sell. Like, come on.
It's a long
man.
game though. That's a long game. Which again, going back to what we were saying earlier.
Nobody wants to play the long
this
game
generation,
anymore.
we want instant gratification.
You want instant gratification, then you're gonna have no gratification at all, bro.
Jeez.
How about that for gratification, man? How about being 35 years old and having nothing?
Yeah.
And then having to turn to drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To fucking to make yourself feel good, and then winding down and dying. How's that for instant gratification? That's some of the fucking lives. Be careful, bro. This ain't like Ben Baller says. This ain't your practice life.
Jeez, it's facts.
You got to do what you got to do.
Facts.
All those cryptos, you know what I'm saying? We had high hopes, and I let cryptos rock for a while, but they didn't become the currency. They didn't become the form of money. You got to send your money in an exchange to change them. You don't have a fucking a crypto wallet that's reliable or any of that other shit. It's just not here, and it's not happening. And then if you have to do all that, there's no real system that you could spend the fucking money on buying something.
Well, there's a real world example in the shop. Somebody came to buy 2 chains, 2 Cubans, diamond Cubans. And he wanted to pay with some fucking coin. Yeah. We were trying to figure it out. And it turns out, they had like 40 grand to spend on 2 chains. Mm-hmm. And as it turns out, it would have been like 18% of that.
Yeah, a
just
fee
for them to buy the fucking chains.
With the crypto.
So it's like, all right, you're no longer looking at 40,000, you're looking at almost 50 grand. You still want it? No.
And then you were drawing your money, you're not withdrawing your money. It's not working.
They went and got cash.
It's just not fucking working. It's not replacing the banking system and all that. It's just not happening, man.
Well, something else I wanted to ask you was, besides your current business, what else you're investing in, and what else you'd want to invest in, if there's different businesses out there that you'd want to explore, or anything that's untouched that you want to get into.
Yeah, if you want to make a big move, and there's going to be some opportunities every generation, there's opportunities that show up. Like you get in on Amazon early, you don't need anything else. Just one thing. You get in on Google early, you don't need anything else. You get in on Apple early, you don't need anything else, okay? So eventually, another company is going to come up that's going to be a big titan and do something. You got to find it, and you got to find it relatively early. And then you got to wait 10 years. If you can't think 10 years ahead, you're just going to end up working or laboring for someone who did, period.
Yep.
Can't think 10 years ahead, don't want to think, all right, now I got to think about when I'm 45. When I was 20, I was thinking about where I'm going to be when I'm 30.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 25, when I'm 36, and so on. Can't think ahead, then fuck you.
Yeah.
You
So
know
you're
what I'm
really
saying?
you're really pro on stocks,
love it,
like
bro.
the stock market.
Yeah, I mean, the stocks are cool if you have a profitable business, okay? You know what I'm saying? Apple sells phones for a profit. Amazon makes a big profit. These companies, but it's already, the profit, you have to understand what it is, okay? Here's the what they don't tell you about stocks, you know what I'm saying? Like, or what they don't tell you about nothing. Okay, let's say Amazon. Amazon, let's say it cost, the whole company of Amazon cost $5 billion. It costs more, but let's say the whole company of Amazon costs $5 billion. You could buy the whole thing for $5 billion. So you have $5 billion in your bank account. You bought Amazon for $5 billion. How much money do you want Amazon to make you a year? It cost you $5 billion.
At least gotta be $500 million.
Yeah, that's fair, because in 10 years,
Yeah, you
you
pay
own
off.
the company, and then the years after that, you'll make $500 million as a profit. Now, right now, the ratio is like 80. You'd have to wait 80 years if you bought Amazon. But it's overpriced, or it's bubbled up, or whatever it is, but it could have a potential to grow. Then you have to sit here and do the math. But if you own a fucking company, and it has high profits, and then that company gives you those profits and it's reinvested into the business, that's really the fundamental aspect of a business. And you wait 5 years, 10 years, and then you own it, right? You buy an apartment for $300,000, and then the rent is $2,000 a month. You count how many months it would take to pay it off or to rent it out, how much it pays off, 15 years. It doesn't cost you anything. You pay maintenance, you rent it out. You got a $1,500 a month income until you die, and then your children inherit. Everything is so taken up in this world that it goes to the second generation. It goes beyond life. It goes beyond death. That's where you're at. Don't forget it. If you want to get ahead of the game, you got to absorb a lot of wisdom, and you got to know what you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to lie to yourself and grow up and have nothing, end up on drugs, man.
And you need patience. That's a
I
big
mean, the
issue.
generation thing is crazy too, because you're seeing all these younger kids or early 20s that can't afford their house, and their grandparents got to sell their house and give them them the money to buy a new house because they can't even get it. So that generational thing is definitely true. I want to ask you about Uncut Gems, because we were talking about that before we came in. We saw the sign too. What do you think about that movie, and did you have something to do with that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it wasn't really an acting job for me. I live that shit every day. So, I kind of wrote my own dialogue for that movie. They just told me to come in there and yell at Adam Sandler. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. And then I'm like, oh, okay. And then I started ranting, raving, yelling, and telling them about this or playing my part. And, that was a fantastic experience.
Yeah. Do you want to have like your own documentary or something?
Well, we're making
I mean,
one.
you're making it right now. You're
Yeah.
making it in live time, but I'm saying
Yeah.
down the line, would you like to put something together that...
I don't got a big ego, man.
Yeah.
I need to be able to make a nice nest egg and get some relaxation. 17 years, like one thing I regret is I never had my 20s, bro. I never got to travel. I didn't have any girlfriends. I didn't have nothing. I just grinded in this fucking sewer for fucking...
We don't
throughout
regret
my
that.
whole 20 years. Well, it was worth it.
Yeah.
For in the end, because I don't care, you know what I'm saying, what I did in my 20s now that I'm in my 30s and I have it, but I still regret it. I still, missed out on a lot of times, but I'd rather not have the time and have a future than have a past. What the fuck am I going to do with a past?
Facts.
I like that.
It's facts.
Give him the question, bro.
Listen, Trax, I know you're a busy guy, bro, and you got shit to do. So, first of all, appreciate the time.
Right.
But before we head out, we're the MBH podcast. Money buys happiness. It's the
Right.
famous question.
Right.
Do you believe money buys happiness?
Money buys convenience. Money buys, you know what makes me happy? Giving my mother money.
Facts.
I take care of my mother, that makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
So did money buy happiness? It did.
Yep.
Okay? So get fucking real. You know what I'm saying? But, taking care of my family, having good health, good food, but Don't sell your soul for it. That doesn't mean you trade in your soul, right? You know, like it says in the Gospels, what does it beget a man who, you know, if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? Nothing. You know, it's not about the lust for money. It's about what you're willing to do for it. Everybody, get real. I want a drop-top Porsche. I want a home, and I want a yacht, and I want this, and I want that. But I'm not willing to rip people off, betray my friends, and dirty up my soul for it. Okay? So it's where you draw the line and where you're willing to work for it or steal it is where the world is at. And it does buy happiness. But true happiness comes from hardworking people who earn it.
Facts. And then what you do with it.
That's right.
When you got it. No, I agree with that. Listen, Trax, you got me fucking fired up, bro. Straight up.
We got to go buy a shit ton of gold, people.
I was about to say, I want to get some chains going, but honestly, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate the time. Appreciate you welcoming us in here.
John, for hanging out.
Yeah.
Thanks for having
Seriously,
me.
Extra stories?
Holy fuck. Guys, how long we go for? Jeez,
Nice,
okay.
proper, I like it.
Beauty. Guys,
All right,
on that
we're gonna go
note,
check
you know
this
what to
place
do.
out. We're gonna check this place out.
And if you're here, you're still here, we love you. Appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you
We'll
think.
find Trax online, too.
Find Trax online. You know where to find them. We don't really got to say too
Yep.
much. Guys, once again, appreciate the time.
Yep.
And we
Thank you,
are
guys.
out.